What is up, you guys? This is All Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you another Division 2 video. With the raid around the corner, it'll be pretty important to have the right gear and build, so I'll just be explaining a few ways of earning gear easily, whether you're focused solely on PvE or PvP or even both. These are going to be the best and the easiest ways of obtaining gear, whether you're also playing solo or in a group. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and leave a like, comment, and hit that sub, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So for number one is going to be vendor farming. So it isn't necessarily a quote-unquote farm, but the vendor does reset, and it would be good to go around looking for what you need. Sometimes the vendor will sell a god rolled item, or sometimes they'll sell trash. When it comes to the vendor farming though, don't look at the gear score necessarily, because sometimes you'll find an item that has the exact brand that you might need, the exact brand set that you may need with high attributes, with the right talents and everything in the right mod slot, but the only thing that's kind of killing it is the fact that it's maybe a 460 or 470 or 480 gear score. So in that situation, I would highly recommend just buying that item, equipping it until you find a replacement. Because on my support build that I'll be rocking in the raid, I'm wearing a 457 backpack, but that's only because it has amazing rolls, it has the cooldown, it has a skill power, it has the talents that I need. Vendor farming might not be the most effective way, but it most certainly is the easiest way, especially if you have a bunch of credits and you can just go around and just do all this within a few minutes in your day. So vendor farming is definitely one of the best ways, at least in my opinion, to go about it. Number two is bounties. So bounties is one of the best ways in PvE, not only because they're pretty quick, but you can actually farm them out. You technically don't even have to use your own target intel either. You can just matchmake and you'll be put into someone else's match, allowing you to help them with their bounties, but also doing it without spending any of your target intel or worrying about your target intel or anything like that. Now, if you were to do this solo, you'll notice that there will be several bounties in each district. I would recommend doing the ones with a white circle on them to unlock the red ones, because those are considered your weeklies, and obviously the game should have told you about that anyways. But like I said, you should run those, and if you finish them, you can still run all the other daily or other bounties, because there's going to be a lot of bounties on your every day that you get. So pretty much a daily type of thing. And like I said, you can always matchmake. You pretty much have an unlimited source of bounties to do. So for number three, the best way to farm for PvE is going to be just running just the PvE content in the game. Obviously, not necessarily missions or strongholds or any of those, because those are actually the worst ways of farming gear. Those are just pretty decent ways of getting XP or whatever, but I wouldn't even run it for XP either. I would just run it if you just want to run it for, like, I guess, exotics. But running things like propaganda or territory control or even control point is going to be very, very, very good for just farming for gear. And what I would also recommend is, if you are playing solo, try just doing control points on tier 1 or control point 1 or 2, because that way it'll be easier and you'll still be guaranteed a high end, at least 1 or 2 high ends. And if you do decide to do it on tier 3 or control point 3 solo, you can still do that as well. And if you do it on control point 3, you can get blueprints for it as well. Control point 4, there's no reason to run it like that, so I wouldn't even worry about it. But what's really nice is you can also get materials as well, depending on the enemy faction. So if you're doing a hyena control point or territory control or anything, you'll be getting polycarbonates, and the higher tier or higher the control point is, the higher chance you'll be getting electronics. Especially when you complete it, you'll notice that the icon for the materials on the control point on your map is going to show as a blue material rather than green. True Sons will drop steel and carbon fiber, and Outcasts will drop ceramics and titanium. So if you're in need of materials as well, then this would probably be one of the easier ways of obtaining them when it comes to PvE content. So the last one, in my opinion, this is going to be the best way of farming for gear and materials all at the same time, is going to be the Dark Zone. Whether you're in occupied or normalized dark zone, the dark zone is going to be the fastest way of farming for gear and materials. The main reason why the dark zone is the best is because you'll be earning dark zone caches within every 10 to 15 minutes or so after you hit level 50. So while regular proficiency caches might be once every 30 minutes or so, just of straight farming. And I mean, like I said, caches are only unlocked in the dark zone after you hit rank 50, but it's not hard to hit rank 50 in the dark zone. You just have to run the landmarks, just keep running to each landmark. And to make your farm more efficient, don't worry about picking up the what is it called, the contaminated items. But what you could technically do is that you can look at the contaminated items and kind of decipher what they are to see if you want it. You can see the talents. You can just, if you can memorize what the talents actually look like, you can visualize what it actually is. But for the most part, I wouldn't really worry about picking up contaminated items and just go around and picking up all the ones that are not contaminated, or just like I said, getting your caches. Now the thing is, when it comes to normalized, it's probably going to be easier for solo players because the enemies are a lot easier and not many people actually go rogue in normalized. There are a few that will go rogue, but I mean, that's not anything to worry about because you won't be losing any XP or anything. Now if you go into the occupied, I'd highly recommend running this with a friend, clanmate, or just matchmake, because other players will try to gank other players, or you know, if you most people just don't trust other players in the dark zone, and when you see a group of players and you're solo, that's normally gonna result in you getting killed by them, because a lot of players just wanna kill other players, which I mean is fine because it's the occupied dark zone. It's that high risk, high reward. But with the occupied dark zone, at least from my own experience, I feel like I've been getting way more XP from in the dark zone than I have in the normalized. But when it comes to caches, it's the same thing. If you do die in the occupied, you do lose about 11,000 XP as well, and that's just, you know, players or NPCs that kill you, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so if your build isn't really near complete or anything, I wouldn't really recommend going into the occupied dark zone unless you're with a group of players. That's pretty much everything in the video. Hopefully this video did help you guys out. If it did, then a like would be much appreciated. If you haven't already, then go ahead and hit that sub and share this video as well. If you have any questions or concerns, or have any other effective ways of farming, go ahead and put that down in the comment section as well, so it'll help other players out. And yeah, so if you have any questions or concerns as well, let me know down in the comment section and I'll try my best to answer them to the best of my ability. This is All Day Anything One on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.